Welcome to CSN The Network Podcast. This is your host, Kayvon Cutler, with my lovely co-host, Dre Nazario and Malik Hampton. How y'all doing this afternoon, man?
Great, man. You know, another day, we alive. I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here with y'all. How you, bro?
Hey, I'm blessed.
Favorite, like Dre would say, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all know it. Blessed and highly favored, brother. Blessed and highly favored. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man, you know, real quick, you know what I'm saying? I just want to thank y'all for taking this time out on this Saturday afternoon. There's a lot of different things that we could be doing right now. So, you know, I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for, you know, joining me on this Saturday afternoon. And with that said, let's get straight into it, man. You know, we have our special guest today, you know, one of the GOATs from the city. You know what I'm saying? When you think of Randy Moss, you got to think of him. When you mention Randy, you got to mention him.
Yes,
you know
sir.
When you mention Jay Will, you got to mention him.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? When you mention those that made it from the city, from D Block, Motob to be specific, the bottom to be specific. A lot of y'all don't know what that is. We don't got to get into that right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's the bottom's finest, D Block's finest right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Bro. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Dobson, man. How you doing this afternoon, bub?
Man, listen, bro, I appreciate the intro. The intro was love, and you already know. So, like, for me, hey, I'm just glad to be here. I'm thankful y'all have me on, man. To all three of y'all, K, Lee, Dree, you already know y'all all family from the crib, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
You know it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, brother.
So,
we start with some of the legends, man. Only right, bro.
For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
The conversation, bro. I just appreciate being in the conversation.
I feel it.
Man, AD, I was real quick, bro. I was thinking about you in the gym, you know what I'm saying? And I do want to tell you, I know I keep telling you this, you know, via phone and text message, but bro, I was just thinking back, like you may not remember this, but one of the first times we ever kicked it, I was in elementary school, bro. You know, just to give y'all background, we went to the same church growing up. And bro was like, you know, I just appreciate how you always gave back to the youngins, always was open to kicking it with the youngins. You know, one of the first times we ever kicked it, it was at your granny's house. And we played 32. It was me, your cousin. I can't think of his name, but it's Roxanne's son. It's me, you, Cuzzo, Bone. We just out there hooping, playing 32. That's when you know what I'm saying, was getting y'all right, blowing my fingers like T-Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Man, here you go, man.
Please over in Louis Shawnee hooping, but you know, I just always appreciated, you know, just the time that you take to give back to the youngins. And you know, you older than us, but you know, you never acted like that. You never acted, you know what I'm saying, like you were out of touch or too far to reach, like you always were accessible. So I definitely appreciate that, bro.
That's my motto for real. Like, I mean, y'all know where we come from. So, like, you know what I mean? If I can just give anybody advice or whatever access to me to help them make some better decisions, or, you know what I'm saying, just help them through some times that I've been through already, you know what I mean? I'm open to that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, I appreciate you even, like, just showing the love and giving me the flowers for that. For real.
Man, you know, it's like bro said, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost, we got to, you know, honor our legends from the city, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the purposes of this platform. And, you know, I'm just thankful to have you, man. Blake, you got anything for Big Brett?
You want me to start out with the questions?
Yeah, man, you can. Because I got a whole clip for you, AD, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with that.
All right, I guess I'm gonna start off, you know, cliche with it, you know what I'm saying? Tell us how it was, you know, coming up in the bottom, bro. What's that Dunbar community like, man?
Bro, that's easy, bro. I mean, it's just family, to be honest. You know what I mean? Everybody's a small little city in Charleston. And we 6 miles outside the city, but it's just a small, close-knit community, especially the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like West Dunbar, we just a small little neighborhood, man. Everybody know everybody. And I feel like, you know what I mean? It's just nothing but family. So for me, I mean, my grandma lived there for, so many years. My mom grew up there. She lived there for 30 years, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I mean? Everybody's talking about it's always family, and it's always been that way.
let's dive in a little bit deeper than that. I think my first exposure to you is when my dad coached you on the Dunbar Bullpups. So just talk about how talented and athletic that core group of guys was, and how that shaped you into the football player you are now.
Yeah, so like, I mean, just like I was saying, to piggyback off what I was just saying, like it's just a close-knit community in Dunbar, man. So like the guys I was playing with, we had already been playing with each other for a couple of years before we even won those 2 championships back to back. When it was my dad, your pops, we had Coach Wayne, Coach Shannon. You know what I'm saying? We just had a big dare. We had just a group of coaches, just real, just gritty. You know what I mean? Gritty and just nothing like it is today. I don't think. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of coaches will get away with what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? But it is still a different type of work ethic in us. You know what I'm saying? It is still a different type of discipline in us. It is. I think for me, I just took it. I took it and ran with it. You know what I mean? Like I just took that and to middle school, to high school, to college, to the next level. I just took that grit and that discipline and work ethic that they instilled with me when I was 7 years old. You know what I mean? So it just took it with me.
Definitely can't do none of that shit no more, bro. With the little league stuff, bro, you can't do none of that no more.
Bro. I was like, man, I was talking one of our coaches, Coach Marty, man. It was probably like a year or so ago. And he was like, man, they had called CPS on us right now. If we acted like, I'm like, bro, yo, you used to have to stop there crying, man. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, man.
I think for me, especially, I think it just instilled just different just morals in me, man. I just took it a long way.
For sure.
Man, that's love, man. You know, piggying back on, you know, what you're touching on now, and even what I mentioned before, you know, it's kind of a 2-part question, right? So growing up, what was your favorite sport? And did you know from when you were a jitterbug, did you always know you wanted to play professionally, either NBA or NFL?
Yeah, it was always one of the two. You know, it was always, that was a goal. I mean, to start off, I ain't gonna say it was that at first. To be honest, I was just competitive. You know what I mean? Like I was competitive. I remember being probably like 4 years old, right? And my brother was playing this in Dunbar Little League. I was too young to even play yet. And my dad's favorite team was Dallas, you know what I'm saying? And I remember being out there in my little plastic Dallas helmet. You feel me? I had the shoulder pads, the pants with the pad in them, you know what I'm saying? I'm really out there, you know what I'm saying? But obviously I ain't practicing, but I'm out there. They running laps, I'm running laps with them, you feel me? I remember just being on that as a kid, like, you know what I'm saying? I be seeing kids now, like kids out here, they, you feel me, 10, 11 years old, they're playing flag, and it's like, that's cool, you know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't even know flag football, I don't even know what that is. Like, you know what I mean? Literally 6 years old, I'm out there, hard hat on, hitting it, you know what I mean? So I just always had that just competitive nature, to be honest. So, I mean, I think the league came in as I got older, you know what I mean? But I was just competitive, bro. I was competitive. I wanted to win. I hated to lose. I wanted to be the best at everything. So I was just in that type of mindset as I was young.
Got you. What was your favorite sport?
My favorite sport, to be honest, bro, I don't know, man. Growing up, I was good at both, to be honest. As I got older, I really put the work in hoop. Like I really like late nights going to go put up 400 shots. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was really on that in hoop. Football was more of a, like, I think it just came natural. You know what I mean? I was athletic, I was tall, I could catch, I could run, you know what I mean? And I've been playing football since I was young. So football just came more natural to me. I think basketball was something I really like worked on. You know what I'm saying? I was already athletic, but as far as shooting, I had a Jimmy, I could shoot. But I just couldn't shoot just because I could shoot. I really used to go, you feel me, 8 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? I had a key to Dunbar Middle School gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. You feel what I'm saying? Times, you feel me? And I gotta give credit to my dad, to be honest, because a lot of times when I ain't want to go, but my pops was like, we're gonna go get it in. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a big credit to my dad, because, I mean, it was multiple times where I just, that wasn't on my own will where I was like, I'm gonna go get it. At times where it was, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get it in. But other times I wasn't just as consistent. I'm a kid, so I want to do kid stuff, you know what I mean? But my pops was really like, nah, we can go get it in. And ultimately just pay it off. You know what
Or can you? I think that's a very valuable point that you're talking about. We mentioned that before, just the sacrifice that you had to make in order to become good at your craft, to hone in at your craft. Can you talk about how important it was? Even though, like you said, you're a kid, but you kind of had to have a business-like mindset. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I think a lot of kids, man, I think a lot of kids have the dream, right? But you know what I'm saying? The dream is free, but the hustle is so quickly, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you can dream about it all day, but you gotta go put some action behind it, right? So you see Steph Curry shooting from, you know what I'm saying, 40 feet, you know what I mean? Turning around, not even watching it going in a bucket. How he doing that? That's reps, you know what I mean? That's reps, and just doing it over and over again, you know what I mean? So like, as a child or as a kid, you know what I mean? A kid growing up, you kind of just got to make a decision. Like everybody gonna have that dream of making it to the next level, even college or whatever. And we all know everybody don't even make it to college to play, especially where we from.
Right.
I'm saying it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be like that. A lot of players that we all play with that could have went to the next level.
Right.
But we from kind of hinder that. But I feel like people got to make a decision. You know, you got to make a decision when you're young. Like, all right, how am I gonna be different, right? A lot of kids ask me, how did you get to the NFL, right? And I feel like the cliche answer is work hard and da da da, which is very true. But at the end of the day, you got to make a decision. Like, how are you gonna be different? You got to be different than almost every kid that you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
To get to the professional, you got to be the 1%. So like, literally, you got to be different. You know, you got to be the person that's gonna be like, oh, okay, we out there, just be outside at we 15, 16, we outside, just where y'all at? We about to go chill, da da da. Or you gonna do that, or sometimes you're gonna be like, I'm about to go hoop, or I'm about to go run, I'm about to go work on my footwork, I'm about to go catch some footballs. Like, you gotta be different. And I feel like that's where as a youngin out here, you gotta make that decision, like, because it starts there. It starts there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't start when you get in college. It starts when you're young. You know what I mean? So
right.
I feel like, yeah, that's a decision you got to make, man. This is a decision you got to make when you're young. Like, all right, this is what I'm trying to do, and you got to work toward that goal.
Where I literally got like chills right now because we just had this conversation on the first episode. Like, how do how you make it out? You just got to be different. You got to, not just in your friend group, but you got a million other kids trying to get to, you got this small percentage of schools that have scholarships, offers, or like you said, it's even a smaller hole that you got to get through when you're trying to get to the pros. So you got to, yeah.
Right. I even think about just, all right, yeah, I made it to the NFL, right? So I'm the 1%. But then I'm like, all right, to be a LeBron James or to be a Steph Curry, you got to be 1% of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy to even think about. Like, so when I'm sitting here like, yo, and I might be feeling like salty that I didn't have the career that I wanted, like, I still got to be grateful and give gratitude, man, because I'm like, I did a lot of things that a lot of people just don't get to do and experience. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to just be grateful for my time that I had in the league. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, man, I had a lot of great experiences.
Word.
Yeah, she right. We talked about that last week, man. Like, just, having to put all that work in and stuff. I got a question for you. It's kind of like a debate, you know what I'm saying? Like, where these two sports, you know what I'm saying? People argue about it all the time. Like me, I'm the football head, you know what I'm saying? So, I love football, think it's the greatest sport ever, you know what I'm saying? The greatest team sport ever. That's just me though, you know what I'm saying? But you just kind of touched on it, like how you said you had to like really, put the reps in when you was in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like to get better, you know what I'm saying, on that hoop side, whereas football, a lot of it came a little bit more natural. So would you say that, because I think so, even though I like football, but would you say you gotta work on your craft way more, like every day in and out, to be more successful, you know what I'm saying, in hoop than foot? I mean, I know you done went to the league, so you done seen the top athletes.
I'm gonna say that's tough, because when I be thinking about hoop, like I be thinking about some of these dudes in the league, like being in the league and like can't shoot. Like I'll just be like, that just baffles me. I'm like, how you in the NBA and can't shoot the rock?
Yeah.
Shooting ain't nothing but just going in the gym and shooting, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Shooting.
Yeah.
So, like, for real, I think it's both. I don't know. I don't think one is like harder than the other. I think it's like, I think you got to work at your craft just as much either side. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is. Like if you were, you know what I'm saying, you're a receiver, you need to go out there and catch the ball, because catching the ball ain't nothing but repetition. You need to go out there and catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball. You know what I mean? Like to the point where it's just like, bro, if that jump touch my hand, I'm gonna catch it. It don't matter what touch my hand. If it hit my hands, I caught the ball so many times that it's just muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? And Bree, you Bree. So it's like, you done shot the ball where you like, I know what's going in. I know it. You let it go, it's like it's going in. But you done shot that shot so perfect, you just feel it. You just, it's going in. You know what I'm saying? Think about it going over and over. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna know at some point, you just gonna know. If I get that perfect release, it's going in. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like both sides, bro, you gotta work on your craft to be, if you want to be elite, I feel like if you want to be that elite person or the elite player and get to that elite level, I think you gotta work on your craft regardless of what sports you play. Granted, like I said, one sport might come easier to you, it might come more natural. But I think football and basketball kind of translate, to be honest. I feel like
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like basketball probably helped you in football. You know what I'm saying?
Like just going up for a rebound, just like going up to go catch a, you know what I'm saying, catch a pass. So it was like just translating your feet, just all that. You know what I mean? Even though it's a different type of shape, it just translates. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. You know what I mean? So if you can play football most of the time, if you go out there and work, you can play basketball.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a debate. Some of them football players used to come up and kill the backboard trying to shoot.
Shoot hard.
That's a fact, though. Yeah. You know, it's just always a debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of people ain't made it to the levels. You know what I'm saying? You and Drew made it to. You know what I'm saying? Like, all we know is like around the way. So, like you said, you got the strong head coming to hoop. You know what I'm saying? He's looking terrible on the hoop court. You know what I'm saying? But then you got some of the hoopers. They can't even dream about taking a hit out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. And to be honest, bro, I think when it comes to football is just, you got to be a little bit more different in the mind. You got
mental, for sure.
Mentally ready for that, because like it's just a little bit more physical. You know what I'm saying? You got to really have a little grit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you can get away in basketball without having like that. Just you know what I mean? Just that. You know what I mean? I feel like if you don't got that in football, you ain't gonna make it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't got that, just that dog.
That dog. Yeah, you hear that all the time. Like you'll hear somebody say a basketball player is soft in the second, versus you don't really hear too many people saying football players are soft. Like,
because like you got like that next play, you know what I'm saying? You got to bang it out. You know what I'm saying? You might have to bang it out that next play. Whereas hoop, you know what I'm saying? They might get in between you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so once the play over with, you know what I'm saying, we just back to hooping. You know what I'm saying? Football, you might have to watch out for him the rest of the game. Like, he might be trying to take your head off.
Guys in football really like don't care. Really got like loose screws.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you put a helmet on them, and it's like they really don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got something to protect them, so they really coming down like really like. So it's like you really gotta, you know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah.
That's why the rule is how it is. Like you can't go to the NFL until you 3 years in college, and it's gonna probably stay like that. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people saying, oh, kids coming out of high school. I've seen people say, if you like that coming out of high school, you should be able to go straight to the NFL or whatever. No.
They're not ready for that.
Nah.
It's grown men out there.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just a totally different level. Like, I've seen some of the most, and I feel like I'm rambling, so I feel like I'm kind of like, I might be hearing questions y'all have to ask.
You good, bro?
No, you good, yeah.
I've seen some of the most athletic people in the NFL, and it's not like receivers. How most people think, oh, that's the most athletic people be in the trenches, like the defensive linemen, like 280 and can run, and like, bro, like you be seeing like some just like, bro, how you that fast, bro? You know what I mean? And that's crazy. You'll see some real like some freaks. Yeah. Like I used to think that all like the receivers and stuff used to be the one that's really fast and da-da-da, but it'd be the one that's big, tall. So I'll be like, I'm 6'3", but you got, bro, they be 6'7", 280. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, making me look like, you feel me? It's crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, it's crazy though. So, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man.
I worry. We talked about this on the phone the other day, and you and I had a conversation in high school one day at lunch. And I just asked you one day, just randomly, I've been in my journalist bag since a jit, right? I just asked him, like, bro, what you gonna do? You gonna go to school and play foot, or you gonna go to school and play hoop? You know what I'm saying? So my question to you is, what led to you choosing football over basketball? And the long haul ended up being a very strategic, business decision. But bro, you was one of my favorite hoopers growing up. Everybody knows how smooth you are. You mentioned how you could shoot. Everybody knew you could shoot. You know what I'm saying? So it did catch some people off guard that you chose foot over hoop. You know what I'm saying? Because you was Mr. Basketball and hoop, bro.
Yeah. I can attest. Me and Kay had a bunch of arguments about this, man.
Bro, we did, bro. That, bro, you put on the show when y'all played OJ and them when you was in 10th, bro.
I was sophomore then,
we was looking at them stats like not too long ago, like we like, damn, AD was only a sophomore, like going crazy.
I had like 24 against OJ and them.
Yeah. I think you was like the only sophomore to make like the all-state team. Yeah.
Yep, he was second team all-state.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I was, you know what I mean? Yeah, I came up, and you know what's crazy about me, girl? I was so young, man. Like, I really should have been in a year, the class behind what I was. I graduated at 17, bro. And I went to college just fresh 18. You know what I mean? Like, so I really, honestly, my dad told me all the time, like, I should have held you back. Like, I should have held you younger. You know what I mean? Not just, even though he was on that whole mindset of me trying to get somewhere, pushing me to be that, he was like, man, I should have held you back. So I'm like, yo, if I would have came back, if I would have had another year of high school, it would have got silly. It
would have got disgusting, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
But yeah, like, about that whole joint, man, like, yeah, man. Go ahead, bro. I forgot what the question was. I'm playing.
You good, bro? I was just asking, like,
man.
Nah, you good. What made you choose? What made you go to college for football instead of basketball?
Okay, so it was definitely strategic, bro. It was definitely strategic. I was thinking strategic in high school, bro, and I was just like, listen, man, I'm 6'2", I'm 6'3", you know what I mean? I'm like, it's a lot of me in hoop. It's a lot of guys that can do what I do on the hoop. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even developed yet, no. But I'm gonna go to that in a second. But yeah, it was just a lot of guys that could do what I could do on the hoop court at 6'3". You know what I'm saying? It's guys doing what I can do at 6'6". You know what I mean? So it was just like, to me, I was like, I mean, I'm a 6'3" receiver. You know what I mean? I can catch, I'm running, I can do this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me just do this. And on top of that, for real, bro, Marshall was low-key my biggest offer, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was low-key in my feelings. I was like mad because I felt like I could have played somewhere bigger. I was everywhere at that point. I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? You know what I mean? I ain't getting what I thought, you know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. So I was kind of like, damn, humbled at the same time. Like, damn, maybe I ain't as good as I think I am. And it was kind of like one of those feelings. And then, then the day was strategic, bro. I'm like, I'm going to just go to Marshall, bro. They offered me. They ain't offered me until after we won the chip our senior year. That's when they offered me Marshall, senior year.
Damn.
They offered me that late. That's how late they offered me. But you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm going to go to Marshall. You know what I'm saying? And it was strategic, straight strategic, just to make the answer simple. It was strategic, straight up.
So that was your biggest offer on either side, hoop and?
I had like from hoop, I had offers from Northern Illinois. So I could have said, I guess Northern Illinois was my biggest offer. But to me, that was like the same level. Northern Illinois, I had Lipscomb. You feel me? I had like Hopper up in New York. I had Delaware for football. You know what I'm saying? So I had some offers, but it just wasn't where like I was thinking I was, you know what I'm saying, where I was trying to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the time I was coming out, I went to camps, you know what I'm saying? I went to Kentucky's camp, I went to Tennessee's camp, I went to Rutgers camp, and it was crazy the things they was telling me. Like, I went to Rutgers camp and went crazy. Every camp I went to, I went crazy, ran great, and was going crazy. Rutgers, they literally told me, we don't even send anybody to West Virginia to recruit at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have anybody that goes through the state. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but we already got all our offers out to our receivers. You know what I'm saying? If one of them like decommits or commits somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? We'll offer you, da da da. So I'm like, bro, they don't even send nobody to the crib to recruit. That just blew me.
Yeah.
Like, literally blew me. You know what I'm saying? That's when Hofstra offered me right after I left Rutgers camp. Like, the recruit went up to my dad and was like, we'll be in touch, and just walked away. walked away, right? And they offered me like a couple, like not too much longer. Tennessee, bro. Went to Tennessee. They got to the point where they was putting some of the commits that was already committed to Tennessee. Go out there and guard them. I'm crushing them, bro. It's this dude on Facebook to this day. He was a dad of somebody else at the camp, right? So me and his son was in camp together. I think his son was like a running back. Right, his dad is over there like, man, y'all better offer this kid right now. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm a can of paint, bro. Like, and we follow each other on Facebook. He still be hitting me up like, man, I knew you was great from the time I seen you. Like, back in high school. This is funny. I'm like, where he was really rocking for me, not knowing who I was, just watching me like, yo, y'all don't offer him, and talking loud. If y'all don't offer him, y'all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I just wasn't. I think West Virginia just didn't have that. I don't know, man. I don't really know what it was. I don't come to conclusions, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how I ended up going to Marshall, though. I mean, I'm like, I'm gonna just stay at the crib. I mean, just at the crib.
Yeah, we talked about that too. We touched on that a little bit too, just the resources that West Virginia lacks as far as recruiting goes. And even like someone as big as yourself or as great as yourself, like you know, you had some type of struggle. I talked about how I literally, like, me and my pops, we was up and down the East Coast. Like, we literally had to be our own marketing team. It's like, ain't nobody gonna root for or go to bat for you, you know what I'm saying? We got to go out here and get it. But yeah, that's almost surprising to me, for real, because you think about, you know, the greats. Even if we think about Perrier too, like, he went to UNC Charlotte, which would be considered a mid-major.
Right, exactly. Man. I feel like it's just crazy because I be looking like at other places and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I even had this argument with some of the guys on the team. I'm like, going to college, I feel like ain't nothing but potential. Like, guys get offers just off potential, man.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? How many colleges they got? I feel like guys get offered off potential, right? So I'm like, you go down to Florida or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, down south a little bit. You got guys. I feel like it's changing in West Virginia now. So I feel like it's some guys that they're getting some offers from some schools young. So I'm like, cool, I'm liking that.
Right.
Like, before, I'm like, yo, you'll see like some young guys, like sophomores down in Florida, they had offers from everywhere. And I'm like, yo, they ain't even played a snap on defense. They didn't play, they just played special teams in high school.
Right.
I'm like, but you come to, I'm like, I'm not saying that maybe the level of competition is different. I'm not comparing the competition. What I'm saying is it's a lot of talent in West Virginia that could go play that just is unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad, man. You know what I mean? I feel like us being from West Virginia, I feel like people don't understand like the chip we got on our shoulder and just how it is. You know what I'm saying? When I tell people about it, they're like, it's like that. I'm like, no, it's like that. It's like, you gotta just, I mean, people just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Our struggle. For real, you know?
Word.
I think that's lazy recruiting, man. For real. Like, I think that's why it is changing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be the team or recruiter, you know what I'm saying, that just let some nice athlete just slip by because you ain't want to go to the state because you had you stereotype the state, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
but you got to think about it, Leak. It's 1 million athletes out there. So they're not getting held accountable for missing one athlete from West Virginia. You feel what I'm saying? I think the difference is now, like, back then, we didn't really have gatekeepers to be like, hey, look at West Virginia. I mean, of course, we got the greats, Renee, Alexis, Jay Will, Randy Moss, but we didn't really have, like, you know what I'm saying, the gatekeepers. I feel like your class, A-Dob, and then following with 2011 and on out, like, we just had a lot of great athletes that we just flooding the market now. And people like, hey, we got to look at West Virginia. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I don't agree. I really don't agree. I truly think it's lazy recruiting, bro. Like, that's all you getting paid to do anyway, is to go scout, you know what I'm saying? So, like, why would you not go to every corner of the country, bro?
Nah, it's not. That's not it, bro.
Think about this.
I think so.
Think about this. WU.
They didn't even recruit in state.
they didn't even offer me. They didn't even give me an invited walk on nothing in either sport.
Listen, man.
Same here.
I got a story. I got a quick story to tell, bro. Like I know how you feel about this. And you know what I'm saying? Like before I tell my story, like the only reason why I asked about how big your offers was on either side is because like, you know, I was a young boy and I didn't grow up. Like I ain't know too much about Dunbar, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I went to South Charleston Middle School and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I still didn't know, you know, too much, you know what I'm saying? But when I first had heard of you, you know what I'm saying? Like they told me it was this dude named Poop, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And they, I think I seen your dad at one of the games, bro, and he had some Tennessee stuff on. They said you was going to Tennessee, so I'm really paying attention. I'm like, bro, damn, he going to Tennessee, like let me pay attention to bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he gotta be nice like that, you know what I'm saying? Like then that's when I really got the background to it. But speaking on like how you just said, like you was at the camp killing, we used to go to 7-on-7 W camp all the time, bro. Like we won it like 2 years in a row, you know what I'm saying? So like my third year going out there, you know, I played with, you know, Ryan Switzer or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was on my team. And third year going out there, bro, they brought like mad different teams to come down and play us, bro. Like some, like even like a whole all-star team out of Baltimore to come play us, bro. No bull stuff, I promise you. And we talking to Tavon Austin one day. They hadn't even offered Switz at this point, bro. Switz had not been offered from WU. That's wow. We talking to Tavon Austin on the sideline one day. And, you know, we had just won it back to back. And he like, bro, you know, it ain't even fair this year. You know what I'm saying? They done brought all these different teams in. He's like, and they got my young bulls from the crib. He like, you know, they just about to take this joint. Like, nobody can really rock with them. So we looking at bro like, you talking crazy, bro. Like, what are you saying? Like, we just won this joint twice in a row. He like, oh, yeah, you know, he like, oh, y'all think y'all about something. He like, man, come watch us play. Ironically, we had to play him like the next game, bro. He like, oh, yeah, I'm showing up for sure. Like, he ain't even got to worry about that. So he show up to the game, bro. And when I lie to you not, like, we always used to do our thing, you know what I'm saying? But Switch this time, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give bruh some props. Like, he had the chip on his shoulder because he hadn't got the offer. Right. So, bro, we playing this all-star team from Baltimore. They all out of Baltimore, Maryland, wherever they from. And the whole coaching staff is out there, bro. The entire WU football coaching staff is out there. I'm talking about head coach all the way down, bro. Yeah. And when I tell you Switz went so crazy on these fools, bro, like I ain't never seen bro get in this bag like that at all, bro. Like he had like 5-6 tugs, bro. Joint was crazy. And they still didn't offer him. He left Morgantown without an offer, bro.
Switz came out of high school with no offer from W.
Bro, they didn't offer him until the end of his high school career. Bro, after he knew he was going to North Carolina, bro, they had just offered him, bro. Yeah.
Bro, what's Virginia so back, bro?
They didn't offer Brett to the end of his joint, bro. Yeah, that joint was crazy, man. I'm talking about in front of Holgerson. He's out there showing emotion, yelling right in front of the coaches, everything, you know, talking this shit, everything, bro. And they still didn't offer him, bro.
We just get overlooked, bro. It's just simple as that, bro. It's just like
it don't make no sense to me, man.
It don't make no sense, bro, because it's crazy. I be thinking about it like, obviously, you know, Doc Holliday, my coach for 3 years at Marshall, he was the recruiting coordinator at WU. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, and then our running backs coach, we had Coach Sauter. He was a coach up at W too before a lot of them came to Marshall.
Yeah,
And then he was telling my dad like how I miss him. I mean, like how I miss AD. You know what I'm saying? AD a dog, like how I miss him. My dad was like, he was at the camp, like just, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was like, yeah, bro. I'm like, yeah.
They just wasn't it. I don't know what it was, bro, but like it was just like they didn't respect it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can understand, like, I can understand how the trenches look like different. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of them freak athletes you be talking about, they be coming straight out of the trenches everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like we might only have a couple of those we got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I can get that. But like you said, a lot of it is potential, bro. If you see somebody can go out there and work, you know what I'm saying? Especially we talking skill positions and stuff. Like I feel like that's on them to be able to bring that out of you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can play, you can play. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I always thought, though. You know.
It is like that, but even when obviously I was at Marshall or whatever, but we had guys transferring from different schools, and they would always be like, yo, like the skills position ain't no different. It's really just kind of like in the trenches, like where like the offensive lineman, defensive lineman, where you might have them like just freaks down
there. For sure.
Alabama, where you see just like those just freakish type of dudes where like, yo, you ain't seeing them too often. You know what I'm saying? So like,
exactly, man.
We, like, you mean, where we from just got us, just give us the, I'm saying, the lower hand. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I feel like we definitely starting to break that stigma, because I feel like it's a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying, we got out there that's kind of making some noise, man. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad too, for sure.
Yeah. Man, and I've been kind of trying to reach out to a lot of them, man, just trying to give them access to me and just advice or whatever, man. Just something just to let them know that I'm rooting for them, and just, you know, I've been through a lot of the stuff that they're gonna go through, college, just the whole process of trying to get to the league or whatever, just anything, you know what I mean? So I always try to make myself accessible to the young boys, in the career, always.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I had said something about you know, disagreeing with Dre right there, is because like I feel like, don't get me wrong, like the young homies is doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? They got, you know, they've been able to showcase their talent more, you know, we got the social media and everything. So they just out there in front of more eyes than we ever was, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like for sure, they didn't miss some of our best athletes coming out of the Valley. Now, I ain't gonna say it wasn't without self-fault, some of them, you know what I'm saying? Some of them might not have had grades, you know what I'm saying, getting in trouble. You know how it is here in the city. But I feel like we didn't, a lot of dogs, you know what I'm saying, just didn't get no looks, you know what I'm saying, just based off where we was from, bro. Like I feel like a lot of dogs got passed up.
I agree. I feel like even going back to just my whole high school squad, man. I feel like I had a team full of seniors that could have went to go play outside of just our conference at the crib, outside of state, outside of Fairmont, outside of that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we had some guys that could go play. And like think about it. If Marshall offered me after we won the chip my senior year, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I mean, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
The only reason I said that wasn't it is because just being like working for a college basketball program, I see like what all goes into recruiting. And like you said, if you dial into them details, right? When you think about the scholarship money coaches have and whatnot, like if you got somebody that's 6'3", 180, you know what I'm saying, that's in state, then I'm gonna go grab that in-state person versus this person from West Virginia, because it's gonna cost less to bring them onto my program. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily fault the people who outside of the state. I just think, you know, the in-state schools could have did a better job recruiting. And
that's true. You're 100%.
That's my point. Like, I get out of state, you know what I'm saying? And plus we're such a small, you know, city anyway. But in state, they ain't really got no excuse for real.
At all. They don't. That's just, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, coming up, they was getting the scraps from everywhere else.
And you like, bro,
you know what I'm saying? It's like you got dogs in your state you don't want, but you go get the scraps everywhere else. And I guess for real, Dre, you right about that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really thinking in the hooper mindset, because you got to think there's more players that play. There's more players on a football team than a hoop team. You know what I'm saying? More everything on a football team than a hoop team, all the way up to the draft. You know what I'm saying? Where it's 7 rounds, where you got 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm more so thinking about filling out a 70, 80 man roster, you know what I'm saying, for the college team, you know what I'm saying, like where it's
even with that too, you gotta make that money stretch. You gotta make that money stretch. You feel what I'm saying? You got 80 people on your team, and you gotta think about a lot of them folks only getting partial scholarships, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta make that money stretch as far as you can make it stretch. So I can understand them not wanting to go, you know what I'm saying, like take a chance on a kid from West Virginia. Not really understand it, but because you know what I'm saying, if you a dog, you a dog.
It's definitely a money thing, Dre. They would just rather go to somewhere where they might be able to get more kids than go to West Virginia and get not as many kids.
Right.
Caliber, but not as many. I might as well just go to North Carolina and get same caliber or better caliber and more. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's definitely a money thing. I get that.
Sure, just like we say all the time, man, everything's a game. You just gotta know how to play it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Definitely.
Since we not to jump around too much, but since we're on the topic, and AD, I appreciate you, man, just being so candid, because a lot of the questions I've asked, you've answered them. You know what I mean? Just being multifaceted with your answers. I appreciate it. But just correlating with what we're talking about now, can you tell us more about your recruiting process and what you would do differently now, knowing what you know as a businessman, as a professional? What would you do differently? Like, I know, just like bro, I mean, we went to the same high school, you know what I'm saying? We're from around the same way. I heard about you, you know what I mean, doing your thing at Tennessee. If I recall correctly, they said you ran 4.3 when you was out there. You know what I'm saying? So I thought for sure.
Kentucky joint, I ran 4.35.
Got you. I knew it was one of them joints. So I was like, I thought for sure you was either going to Tennessee or UK. You feel me? So like, what would you do differently now, knowing what you know?
Honest, bro, I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Just like Dre said, I feel like I went to the camps. Like I was there. I was in their face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they seen me. You know what I mean? I put the time down. They made me run it again. You know what I'm saying? I did it twice. You know what I'm saying? So like, they looked at the time, was like, niggas started looking at the clock. They was like, bro, go run it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I mean, to be honest, bro, I don't know if I would do anything different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I went to the schools. I feel like I went out there to at least, because all it takes is one school to offer you. Once one school offers you, then they just start coming in. Now schools just being nosy and throwing out the offer because the one school threw out the offer, or they rival schools threw out the offer. So now they just want to throw their nose in there. So, I mean, all it takes is one school, but I don't know, man. I don't think I would do anything different, to be honest. I feel like I was there. I mean, I went to a couple schools, Tennessee, Rutgers, Kentucky. So SEC, you know what I mean? Rutgers was in the Big East, you know what I'm saying? So I was at WU, Big East, you know what I mean? So I feel like I was there, you know what I mean? It's not like I was trying to go across the country, you know what I mean? But so I feel like I was in the SEC, I went to the Big East, like, you know what I mean? I was in front of these coaches, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Wake Forest was looking at me, they ain't offered though, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I would have did anything different, to be honest. I feel like I did what I was supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? And the chips just, you feel me, stacked up how they stacked, you know what I mean?
Were you ranked in high school in football?
Bro, I don't even know, bro. You know what I mean? I might have been like a 3 star or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't really know if I was ranked or nothing like that, to be honest. You know, it was just hard. Like, it was hard for people. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, bro. I couldn't even tell you.
Well, I think just to touch on this just a little bit, I think that adds to that chip on our shoulder, like being from West Virginia, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we gotta get it out the mud. And then even when we get there, you gotta work 10 times harder to prove yourself, because people like, West Virginia, like, I didn't know Black people in West Virginia, like, yeah, it's a lot of dogs. You know what I'm saying?
I get that so much, like where you from, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, and I'd be proud to say it too. I'm like, man, I'm from West Virginia. It's like, oh, like, how far is that from Virginia Beach? Or like Virginia? I'm like, nah, bro. Like, that's a totally different state. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are our own state. We're not Virginia, bro. We are not Virginia. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it, man. Like, I feel so rapid. Like, people don't, like I said, they don't know our struggle. They don't know what it's like to be where we're from. And I feel like we all got a chip on our shoulder, man. And I feel like everywhere I went, I carried that. You know what I mean? I always felt like I was the best. I went to Marshall, you know what I'm saying? It was in-state, but how many in-state kids do we have on the squad? Not too many. We had 31 guys from Florida. We had the most kids from Florida than any other college football team in the country.
Wow.
That's crazy.
31 guys from Florida, bro.
Wow.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, I mean, shout out to them all because I don't use them all my dog, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to do a chip with them. Like, I ain't care y'all was from Florida. And they'd tell you that. They talk about speed. All right, line it up. Let's line it up. And we talking about some speed. I'm running too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell you, I ain't get beaten no way in Marshall history. Anytime I line it up with anybody, no one beat me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just being where we from. I tell people all the time. I mean, you take our dogs from West Virginia, and we line it up with anybody. You line it up with anybody. With, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be trying to clown, but I'm like, yo, it is what it is, man. Like, you cannot believe me. I know what it is. Everybody from the crib know what it is. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I think we starting to break out, man. I think we definitely starting to break out. We just gotta.
Hell yeah, man. I think we are too, and I'm proud of it for real, man. I hope they all shine, because it ain't gonna do nothing but help the youngins coming up behind them, man. For real.
That's what we need.
100%.
What up, Kay? You got more questions, or I gotta go?
Yeah, I'll let y'all go. Like I said, I got a whole clip for bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we're talking about high school.
I got questions.
Recruiting process. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask him about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask him about all that we got. We're gonna talk about that here in a second.
All right. So what was your favorite? All right. It's a 2-part question. All right. What was your favorite team or game you played in college? You know what I'm saying? Like versus the team you played. And do you think that WU and Marshall should line it up every year in football?
Well, to answer the second question first, absolutely. I think they should line it up every year. There's no reason.
Okay.
I feel like W be running, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we never beat them. So I can't really talk too much. But I am at the same time.
Yeah.
I think just for the state, man. It's good for the state, man. You feel me? Like
it's so much money.
Yeah, man. Make it so we play every year, man. I feel like the people want to see that. I feel like the players definitely want to play in that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good in-state rivalry game. You know what I mean? I feel like it's lit, man. Yeah.
I almost got them boys and Hun that one time, man. You caught that bomb on them.
They caught that bomb.
I'm like, oh, they gonna get them today.
One of the sickest games I've ever been a part of, bro. Like sickest because, bro, we were so, and it was crazy because that year we came out and played Ohio State and got smoked, right? It was crazy. This was the first year Doc and them came, so we was kind of bought into Doc. We was kind of bought into his system. Like, all right, you feel me? Like, he coming from Florida and he got these national championships at Florida. He sold us. You feel me? He sold us. So we was bought in. We was bought in. You know, we was going to O State thinking like, yo, we finna come up here and run with O State. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. We got drugs, bro. Like,
hey, that's part of it. You got to drink that Kool-Aid, man.
we got humbled real quick. It was cool because we really came out ready to play, bro. We really came out ready to play. And that was the national championship Ohio State. That was Terrell Pryor.
Oh yeah.
We came out ready to play. And they smashed us 45-7. It was cool. It was just kind of like, all right, that's O State. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the very next week we came back and had W at home. The very next week. So it was like, that was just like, this is our coming out party, bro. Like, we ain't gonna let that slide, you know what I mean? Like, that ain't us type of deal. So we came back at the crib, you know what I mean? It was packed, jam-packed in there. And we was ready to play, man. We came out and we jumped on them quick, bro. We controlled the game the whole entire game, the whole 4 quarters, bro. Except probably the last 6 minutes. But it's just
right at the end, right at the end, they ended up getting y'all. Bro, I thought y'all was pulling it, bro.
But we had them done, bro. They was damn near about to quit, man. They was damn near about to tap out. They was like, we was over there tapping our helmets, like, they done. You know what I'm saying? But what? Our running back fumble, bro. My dog. It was tough though. That was his first game, bro. He was a freshman. That was his first game. Very first carry of the season of his college career.
Sheesh.
Damn.
Right? You feel me?
That's tough.
Y'all listen to this. It's 20. I think is it 21-6? I think it's 21-6 with like under 6 minutes left. So like, and we had to like a 10-yard line. Like really, like we kick this field goal. If we get any points right here, we get a field goal, game is over. Right?
Over.
Game is over. Like put a fork in them. Like you feel me? And you know what I'm saying? And we put bro in, which is cool. Bro was a great running back. I'm not saying nothing, you feel me? But I just think the time of that. Of putting him in at this time is just like, wow, you feel me? Our running back Martin was toting. It just didn't make sense. Looking back on it, obviously when they first put him in, nobody was really thinking this was about to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
After he fumbled, he looked at the ball. I think he got the ball. Boom, got the ball again, fumbled.
Hindsight 2020.
Hindsight is 2020. So we like, yo, like that just wasn't the right. You know what I'm saying? Just not. You feel me? Like, And bro, that happened and literally just turned the game around. It turned the game around. Yeah, but we lost overtime to them boys. That stung. That stung hard.
It was a tough one, man. That was lit. I remember watching that joint.
That was a tough loss, bro, because we had them right there, and that would have been our first win against them at home. You feel me? The city was about to go crazy. Huntington was about to go up.
Oh yeah, Huntington used to go crazy.
Huntington was about to go up. We had to take that on the chin now. We took that on the chin. So, then that might have been the last time we played them, right? Nah, hell no. I'm playing 2 more years after that, I'm sure.
Yeah, they ended up playing them up in Morgantown.
Yeah, we played them. Yeah, that was my sophomore year when that happened.
Got you.
Bro, I gotta ask you real quick, not to jump, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you got another question, Lee. Bro, what was you thinking? Because when you scored on that bomb, you dropped. We could talk about it now. You dropped the ball like right at the run.
Bro, listen, bro.
What was you thinking, AD?
I wasn't, to be honest, bro. It was so chaotic. Like it was so chaotic. Like usually, you know how you playing the game, like we all done played, so it's like you know how to kind of just tone the crowd out. It's almost like a kind of like a tunnel vision thing. Like you don't hear the crowd until you like on the sideline chilling. You might hear like, but in the moment, it's just like you locked in the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when I caught the bomb, boom, I fell through, slip off, and I'm out. You feel me? I'm running, and then like it's like it erupted my ears. Like, I'm like, oh, because I'm here. Like you feel me going? So I'm going. I'm kind of just looking around. I'm out here, ain't nothing but space. So I'm just kind of holding the ball, and like my momentum was going so fast. I'm thinking like I'm across the line. You know what I'm saying? I'm up in the crowd with it, and I ain't even looking at the touchdown. I'm about to score. That's what I'm thinking. So like my first reaction just about to start pointing at the crowd. You know what I mean? Drop the ball, but I think the ref was a little bit behind me. Right, so I think whenever it happened, I think my momentum was going so fast that he ain't even catch it. It would have been hard to catch. But today's game, with all the they would have
replay. Yeah, they gave it. Yeah.
Oh man. But Jackson 2.0 right there.
Exactly. Hey, nah. Put it in the book though, because my joint counted. 96 on them.
I ain't have no other question, okay? I was just gonna say, like when he was pointing, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking the fam or something was up there. I'm thinking you knew exactly who you was pointing at type stuff.
Bro, he was hype, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go back and do that again. I would have ran to the student section. I would have ran to the other side of the field, and I would really crazy. I ran towards like this where our fans was the school, but I should have went to the left. Like I should have caught it, and I should have peeled back to the left where our student section was. If they was all up there, they would have went stupid. That's what I be thinking about when I be thinking about that. Like I should have just went back to the student section and went.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, so hold up, you wasn't pointing at the fam. You don't know who you was pointing at?
I wasn't pointing. No. My family was back on the other side. So our fam sat back towards where our Shuey building was. So now our fam was on the other side. But I was just pointing to the fans in general.
Got you.
Yeah. Word. I mean, I'm like, okay, I'm young, sophomore. You know what I mean? Second game of the season, first time I was ready. It was a good moment, you know what I mean, in that game, for sure.
Word. So we talked a little bit about your recruiting process. Can you touch on just your college experience for us a little bit? Just, you know, the differences in being a student athlete, how hard that was, and, you know, how you made it through it.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously it was tough, right? So, I mean, you go from, high school, I ain't gonna say high school, yeah, prepared you a little bit. But going into college, obviously you put in way more time into your craft, right? Just naturally, you put in way more time in the hoop or basketball, whatever you want to call it to play. But then you also just got to keep up with your school, right? So it's just like, you got to learn how to balance that. Because I remember at first, when I first came into college, I ain't gonna lie, it was tough for me. It was tough because I was on some, forget school. I'm just going like, it was times where I just wasn't even going to class at all. Like just going to practice. Like, and it got crazy for me going into my second semester. I had to really tighten up. You know what I mean? I think I had to go through that process. I ain't gonna say everybody has to, but I had to go through that process where I had to get used to like somebody not telling me to go. Like ain't nobody about to tell me to go to school. Ain't nobody gonna tell me to go to class, you know what I'm saying? And then our coach was a little different than he kind of treated us like grown men. Like, I'll go to class, you feel me? You got it, or you ain't gonna play. You ain't with a 2.0, you can't play. So what you gonna do? You just, but I'm so young, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just naive to like all that. So I'm like,
to real life, yeah.
For real life, yeah, I'm naive to that. So like, first semester, I'm not going to class. I'm missing class. People coming to me like, we had a test today. I'm like, we had a test? Like I'm in college, my first semester.
Yeah.
It was a lot for me to balance. It was a lot for me to just be so locked in on ball and then having to balance that school. It was like, I would rather just be locked in on this football. And this is what I'm trying to do. It's like I got to be locked in on both. And it was, But yeah, man, I think as I got a little older, you feel me? They kind of got me in line, got me somebody to help me. Obviously, we had tutors, you know what I mean? I really started tapping into our tutoring like programs and all that stuff. So it just kind of got me back focused. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have my grades so I can play. Let me just get right. So I kind of grew up real quick. I feel like I had to get that young kid, oh, I'm out here on my own kind of, you know what I mean? My mom, I don't got my mom breathing down my neck, da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? Come home, you got to be at home, da da da. I can do whatever I want to do. I can be out. I don't got to get in the class if I don't want to. So I feel like I just had to get that freedom out. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I can do whatever. And then I feel like once I got it out, I was able to just balance both, you know what I mean? So obviously I knew I had to answer. My goal was to get to the NFL, and obviously I knew I had to keep up with my grades to get there, right? To play in general. So I think it was more of that. Like I knew my end goal was to get here. So this is what I have to do. More so, you know what I mean? That's one of my thought processes was.
And just to piggyback off of that, like a lot of people think student athletes have it easy. Like, oh, these teachers don't care if you go to class, blah, blah. But I know, like, from my experience, our teachers, or our professors rather, were harder on us as student athletes because they like, I don't care who you are. If you don't turn in this work on time, you getting an F. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, I guess I ain't mean to cut you off. But for
no,
me,
you get.
Yeah, I can say I experienced both. Worlds. So I ain't gonna cap and say that it was just. I experienced both. I experienced some teachers that were mad cool with us as far as athletes. And then I ran into some asshole teachers that was like, I don't care that you play. I don't care that you just got back and traveled yesterday or whatever, that y'all had to go to Houston to play this weekend. You got to pay for due Monday. Like, why you ain't do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had too. So yeah, I don't think I think that's the stereotypical thing. I think maybe certain guys, particularly, or certain girls on your situation might get maybe special treatment depending on who you are and what you're doing for the program. Maybe a little bit different treatment, you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like as far as just the regular athlete, I'm not gonna say that it's like just easy how everybody think it is. Like, oh, y'all just gotta walk in the park, like y'all can just do whatever. People doing y'all's work and da 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 da. It ain't like that. It ain't.
I did all of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't like that. But I'm gonna keep it 100. For me, I got to a point where I was kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? I had some people really helping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Helping. I'm gonna say helping.
Yeah.
I don't know, really helping me. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that just depends. Like I said, just the situation that you're in. That's just all situational. Let me say that. It's situational.
I think that's the biggest thing about like school, like the difference in school, like once you get to college, like them teachers really stick to that syllabus, bro. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Like if you don't, like, you can miss class, you know what I'm saying, because you know what you got to do, you know what I'm saying. But I hope you, like, you know what I'm saying.
I hope you look at that due date.
I hope you look at that due date because it ain't changing, like, you know what I'm saying, for nothing. Like, that joint crazy.
Yeah, it is, man. But it teaches you to grow up, man. It teaches you to be held responsible, man. Accountable for
that's
what
a fact.
Are, you know what I mean? Because it ain't always gonna be sweet. It ain't always gonna be sweet, you know. Like people that get to live like that and think that life is just like this fairy tale. I think when life do hit, I think those are the ones that kind of struggle with it and have a hard time with just adjusting to just life. Like throw curveballs at you when you least expect it. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I think college is, I mean, it's both ways. I think it just kind of just teaches you to, grow up, man. Be disciplined, have some responsibility. With that.
Word. I got another question, if y'all don't mind. So when did the NFL dream become real to you? And then what changed in, I guess, your work ethic or your workouts when you realized that dream was attainable?
Yeah, so I think once so obviously once I started getting into high school, that's when I was NBA, NFL just started like, this is what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the odds of where we coming from. And I think about it, I'm like, bro, I was silly for even just being so just tapped into that. You know what I mean? But I think that's what you have to do. You got to be like, man, against all odds. Really, it's really like that.
Right.
So I'm like, where we come from, it's already hard coming from everywhere else, right? And think about being from somewhere else, right? They're getting way more opportunities than what we get. So being from West Virginia, it's like 50 times harder, right? So it's crazy. I was really sold on that. Like I was really like, this is what I'm doing. Like in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? Your teacher's asking you, I want to be a professional athlete. Like now, for real, like nah, what you mean? Like now, for real, like you feel me? That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I was really that kid. Like I was really that kid. And I feel like everybody knew I was like that kid. Like yo, I'm trying to be that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like once I went to college, obviously, you know what I'm saying, my freshman year, I really didn't even expect to play. Honestly, I didn't expect to play my freshman year. And they burnt my red shirt, man, second game of the season against Virginia Tech. And I was like confused, like, man, why they burn my red shirt? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought I was about to have a year to get, you feel me? Just
yeah, right. Yeah.
They burnt me, man. They burned me the second game of the season. I was like, yo, like, you know what I mean? And as the season kept going, I got some more, like, just more burn, and it just started slowing down to me my freshman year. It started slowing down to me. I started making plays, you know what I'm saying? I think I had like 400 yards receiving on like 15 to 20 catches, 400 yards with 4 touchdowns. So like it started slowing down to me as a freshman. And I'm kind of like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like going into my next year, I was kind of like, I just felt way more just solid, just way more just polished and just being like, all right, I did this as a freshman, being green out here, like wipe my nose type green, like just fresh into this. And I feel like I held my own for the amount of time I got to play. And having a full off season just in college and doing my thing, hitting the weights, getting bigger. I think I went from like 185, 190 to like 210 going into my sophomore year. Just totally changed. Body just changed, right? And then I just felt like, oh yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah, running 4.3 is consistent. Like, you feel me? Like consistent. Every time I get on the clock, I'm running 4.3. I'm like, oh yeah, like you feel me? Like I think it's there. I think I can make that move. You know what I mean? I think that off season. So after my freshman year, that off season, I think it clicked for me, and it was just like I just need to start taking things a little bit more serious than I already am. I already got the dream. I already got like I want to get there, but now I need to really kind of like take it to another level. Like, all right, we got all these scheduled workouts we gotta do for college. I need to do a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I need to hit my dog. Doing that T-boy, he actually played with us. He was a receiver, but after he left, he started training. So I got with him and just started doing things just outside of what we was doing in football. You know what I'm saying? So I was just doing more on top of what was required. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of changed. I just kind of started doing more. Like, all right, because I'm thinking about like, all right, the professionals, they don't got school, so they doing this 24/7. Where we got school and ball, so we gotta kind of balance both. So I'm like, all right, like I gotta make some more time for ball. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't doing ball all day like professional athletes are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, let me just do a little bit more, so I can do extra little work. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think that's when it started clicking for me. Like I gotta do more than what's required.
Right.
So it wasn't a catch.
Nah, absolutely. I was already there by the time that happened.
For sure.
I should have came out after my junior year. So I couldn't even have came back. So I was already, my mindset, I was already lead type there. Yeah. I was already like, I was already telling myself I'm coming out. Before I even made a catch, I was like, I'm probably coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like I had like 10 tubs by that time, just going into, I'm like, I was doing a little something. So I'm like, I might come out. And I was big. I was fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I just had the body for just a receiver, number one receiver. You know what I mean? 6'3", I was 210. I was running. You know what I mean? I could run the whole tree. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I was thinking about coming out as a junior. So by that time, by the catch happened, yeah, I was already in that mind frame of like, I'm there. I'm gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just when and where I'm gonna go at that point.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, for the casuals, you know, that catch, it put you out there in front of like a lot of more people that probably wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, known who you was.
Yeah, if I would have did that and now, it would have been crazy. Like in today's with all type of social media, it would have been crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think Facebook wasn't even, I think we had Facebook early and then Facebook kind of died down. So it really went, I think Twitter was on at that point.
Yeah, Twitter was hot.
Twitter was hot. So like it wasn't even no like, you know what I mean? Wasn't no Instagram or like video type of social media.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram didn't even have videos at that time. Yeah. If you remember that, yeah, Twitter just was straight pictures. Instagram was just straight pictures. Right. And it didn't have videos until like, shoot, I feel like it was my like junior year in college when Instagram got videos.
Yeah, exactly, right. So like, yeah, it went crazy. I think I had a couple mil on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? A couple million views or something like that. So yeah, it was crazy. It definitely put me on for sure. You know what I mean? It was what number one play on ESPN, but it was only up there for like a couple of weeks. That's when dude from the Bengals, y'all remember that dude from the Bengals? He did the front flip over the dude that landed.
Oh yeah, he was on there for a minute, bro.
Bro, I thought my jump was gonna run the table for a long time. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody gonna do nothing crazier than that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
But
yeah.
2 weeks later, dude did the front flip and landed. I said, wow.
That doing crazy.
Yeah. For sure.
Man, I got a follow-up question regarding what you just spoke on, right? So regarding the catch, did you practice catching the ball like that? Or what was going through your mind when you caught that, bro?
To be honest, bro, it was simple, bro. For real. I ain't never used to work on catching it like that. It was just, you go back and watch the video. I was really trying to, because the ball was kind of behind the dude who was kind of like away from me. So I was really trying to swipe him by and come back behind him and catch it like this. So that's why I ended up catching it like that. So I'm trying to catch it like this. But if you see, he grabbed my left arm.
Yeah, he grabbed your arm. Yeah, I peeked.
Grabbed my arm. So then it just naturally, I went like I was trying to catch it with both hands, and the placement is just stuck, bro. It just literally hit my hand and it just stuck perfect. And as soon as it hit my hand, I just knew I grabbed it. I just cuffed it. I knew I had the ball. I just brought it in, man. Like it wasn't like I tried to do it. And to tell you the backstory about the play, and this is what's so crazy about it. It was third down. It was going into halftime to go score. I think it was like under 2 minutes. So like, and I think it was probably like 16. It was inside of 20. First down. I think he ran the ball or something, ran the ball, something. But they was playing me just one-on-one, like no safety, just one-on-one out there. And I'm like, and I ain't even this type of guy that just gonna bring like I'm probably one of the most unselfish guys when it comes to sports, bro. Like I look back and I'm like, I should have been a little bit more selfish. But I wasn't even the type of guy to go to them like, yo, throw me the rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't throwing me the ball, like, throw me the rock. So, but at this particular time, I'm like, yo, throw me the ball. Like, we call timeout was third, going into third down. We call timeout the second down. Like, throw me the ball. Like, I'm telling my coach, bro, throw me the rock. Like, real talk, like, throw me the ball. And then he was like, went over there, told the OC, he was like, yo, it's like, we coming to you, like, straight up. So, like, the play he was throwing to me, regardless of what it was like even if you watch it, he didn't have no read. He just dropped back and just threw it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, now I'm just like, I gotta make a play. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here calling for the rock. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of character, really like, throw me the rock, like with some just, you know what I'm saying, with some passion behind it. And he's like, oh, we coming to you. Like, so I'm like, dang. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going out there lining up, knowing this ball about to come to me. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, he threw that joint and bro was just like, man, I'm about to make the play. That's just what I was on. I mean, that's the type of time I was on at that point. I was like, I'm about to make this play. And I think that's what made it just probably just 100 times more special to me. I mean, because that's just a moment that I really know. From some of the guys that was right there, obviously know that I kind of called for that. You feel me? That wasn't just like, you feel me? I'm like, throw me the ball type of deal. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to make the play, to be honest. So however I could get it, I was gonna make it. At that point.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the toughest catches I ever seen. You know, that was ESPY nominated too, right?
I think so, bro. I think so. I can't even remember. It might have been. I think so. Oh,
you didn't go? You didn't go?
I ain't go. Uh-huh.
Got you. And my follow-up question, man, it's also one of the fan questions that we got. You know, some of our listeners just wanted to know, what was your favorite thing about playing at Marshall? Since we're on the subject. Yes, sir.
Just being able to represent the crib, you know what I'm saying? And not like being right there, just 30, 45 minutes from where I'm from. So I feel like a lot of people got to see me play and got to keep up with me, like playing. I used to kind of watch me in high school and as I was younger. I feel like a lot of people got to kind of keep up with me my 4 years there. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I had. I mean, in the relationships I made, I wouldn't change anything about my 4 years. I made a lot of great relationships, friends that I'm still cool with to this day. You know what I mean? Experiences that I've had that I wouldn't trade for anything. You know what I mean? So it was a great time at Marshall. I mean, I think I went to great school, had great tradition. Um, Still a part of that tradition. Still love everything about it. I mean, I feel like one of the greatest college traditions in the world. I mean, 1970 plane crash. We just, you feel me, just rebuilding from that and coming from that. I'm happy to be a part of that tradition. You know, yeah, like I said, just repping home and being able to rep where I'm from.
So I'm gonna transition a little bit. We're gonna go to the pros a little bit. So you touched on it a little bit. Just talking about you not being able to have the career that you would have liked to have. So can you just touch on like the importance of like mental health and being able to, or being met with so much adversity from injuries and whatnot? Just talk about how you kind of got through that.
I mean, to be honest, it was a transition. I think I'm still getting through it as time is going. You know, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, just the whole, just being in that mindset to play is one aspect, right? So you got to be in a whole different type of mental space. I feel like to be in that game, and I feel like even you see it translate out when guys are done playing. You see guys being aggressive and just doing a whole bunch of things that's probably out of their character for real. But I think it's just because the mental, and I feel like us as players, we gotta, and as athletes, period, especially football players, we gotta hold each other accountable. We gotta keep up with each other because it's like people be like, how can I explain it? I think the contact to our heads that we take, a lot of contact to injuries to our brain, I feel like that kind of just affects a lot of guys, and I feel like that puts a lot of people into it's like that mental depression, especially when they can't play anymore and stuff. I feel like a lot of that starts to just catch up, right? Because I feel like when you're playing a game, you can kind of just disregard a lot of that stuff. You can just play because you get to play the game that you love. Once all that is taken from you, I feel like all that starts to creep. Like, all right, like what's going on? You start feeling you can't be aggressive no more because you ain't on the field, right? So you can't. So you might be taking that aggression out on other people that you love, people that you're close to, right? Because you're so used to, shit, I can go out there and just smash somebody, pow, just hit them. You know what I'm saying? Get and release what you're feeling, right? That's crazy that you can do that, but you can't do that in real life. You can't just, you know what I mean? You can't just explode on it. Well, it's not the right thing to do. Just explode on somebody with your words and things like that. So I feel like mental health is a big thing. And I mean, like I said, I'm still trying to get through it, and it's just like you got to be conscious of it. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to be conscious of it. You can't sit there and be like running from the fact that you're probably going through some type of mental depression, some type of depression. Mentally, you just not stable. I feel like a lot of people just run from that. The like just them hearing that and you telling somebody like you might be depressed or you might be like mentally, just go see if you need therapy or something. I feel like us as Black people, I feel like we stigmatize that and be like, oh no, you want me to go see a shrink? I ain't crazy. Like, you feel me? Like, but it's just really like this trauma and just everything that you've been through and just, you feel me, just being mentally stable, right? I mean, I feel like if you want to be healthy, people think about health as just your body and what you eat and but I'm like, mental is, you feel me, 80% of it. If your mind ain't right, then you ain't right.
Right.
Period. I don't care what you're doing. If your mind ain't right, your body ain't gonna be right.
Right.
For me as an athlete, I feel like we just gotta be conscious of it and go get help, man. Go talk to somebody, right? So I feel like for me, I stopped playing in 2018, 2017, 2017. And it was tough. It was a tough transition. I'm not even gonna lie. It was a tough transition because I'm like, what am I about to do? Right? What am I going to do? Like, I ain't know nothing else but ball my whole life. Never clocked into no job. All I knew was ball, right? All I knew was sweat work. That's all I knew. If I'm sweating, I know I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and sweat, I'm working. That's what I'm doing. So when I ain't have to do that no more, my whole life turned upside down. Like, I didn't know how to translate that same work ethic into just anything else. It didn't feel the same. It didn't give me the same joy. It didn't give me the same anything. I'm like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is like not playing sport or like not just being just, you know, I just really had to find myself. You really get to find who you are, like who am I, like as a person, like da da da. So I'm so used to being like this athlete, right? This professional, or not even professional athlete, just an athlete my whole life. Just from a kid, I've always been an athlete, a jock, right? So that change is just, it was a lot for me to handle. It was a lot, right? So I really had to go through a lot of things and be like, I feel like I did it smooth. I feel like everybody was kind of like, thought I was cool. And like, and this is the toughest thing too. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I'm jumping around. This is the toughest thing is, I feel like everybody thinks that, most people just think everything is cool with, all right, so I made it to the NFL. I haven't played in almost 5 years now, right? I'm almost 4.5 years, right? Like a lot of people don't be like, yo, you good? Me and Kay talked about on the phone. Like, just hit me up asking me if I'm good. Like, are you good, bro? Like, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you feel me? Just checking to see if I'm just, my mental straight, right? Because most guys, you feel me? You gotta think, most guys' career is only 2.5 years, right? I see those odds, but, and then once people leave the league, they got 3 years and they broke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, okay, so think about the guys that make it to the league, all right? And it's not too many guys out there making 80 million, 90 million that you don't got to work more. You got those guys that you see, but then what about the guys that you don't even think about? The average time in the NFL is 2.5 years. That's it. So think about how many guys are rolling in the league and coming out, rolling in the league, coming out, rolling in the league, coming out. Ain't nobody thinking about them. Everybody thinking like, oh, you feel me? Like, oh, they just signed. The day they signed, oh, he got millions. You know what I'm saying? That's what they think, and it's not like that at all. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like people, I guess, for guys, athletes that's in this position, or like just the mental side, I feel like people that's close to them need to check on them as well. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they good and they mental is right. Stuff like, we as a family just gotta hold each other accountable, man, and just make sure everybody is cool, man. You know what I'm saying? We all know each other from high school. We need to be like, yo, you straight? Like, how you doing, bro? Just like me and Kate on something. How are you, bro? Are you good? You know, because a lot of people just be like, oh, I need this, or can I, you got this for me, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, we cool as hell, but like, you ain't even like, yo, what's good, bro? Like, you feel me? Like, what's poppin'? Let's have a conversation first. You feel me? Just make sure I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? It's always like, or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I kind of just switched the topic, but as far as mental health, that's like, we got to be conscious of it. You got to be conscious that you're going through something to go get the help. But if you don't know, you ain't gonna get no help. You ain't gonna know. You just gonna brush it off.
Right. Yeah, like when you stop playing the sport that you love, like competitively, it's like a bad breakup, and a lot of people don't understand that, because you said, you put time, a lot of energy into it, and especially if it don't go your way. Like, my joint ain't go my way either, and I'm thinking pros, and injuries, whatever maybe whatever your circumstances are, and then you just can't. You gotta make a decision, like. And that's like one of the hardest decisions ever, like.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
You already know, like, making that decision, like, damn, all right, like, it's time to move on. All right, this is, you know what I'm saying? But then you gotta, don't look at it as bitter, though. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like I told you. Be grateful for the time that you had. Be grateful that you got to go to college and play hoop.
Right.
Because there's a lot of girls that didn't even get to go play college and play hoop.
Right.
You know, so like, we gotta stop thinking about, like, I be doing the same thing, everything about all the same shit, Drew. I swear, I be thinking about the same stuff, and it's crazy. I be like, I got a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
So for me, I gotta start thinking about, I got a Super Bowl ring. Like, that's
like, how many people can say that?
Right, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be grateful for that, have gratitude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, kept myself being salty, bro, because I was hurt that year, so I didn't play in that game. You feel me? And the competitive person in me, like, man, be happy, bro. You got a Super Bowl ring, but I'm so competitive, and y'all know that. I wanted to play. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to feel that.
Right.
When you think, I really wanted to breathe that air, feel that game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Me being the competitive person I am, I just couldn't be cool with that. Like, I couldn't just be like, I'm just happy that I got to play the game. You feel? I'm just happy I was on the team. You feel me?
Yeah.
That ain't never been me. I ain't like, and it'd be different if it was like, yo, if I just, and I was hurt, like I told you, but like, Like if sometimes it's like I know some guys is probably like, if you can come to real like, oh, I ain't the best player, or like I ain't the best player right now. That's why I'm not playing. Right. That might be some people's situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The situation I was is like, I never felt like somebody was better than me. And that might be like me being whatever. I just didn't feel like that. Never felt like, you know what I mean? So when I wasn't a part of that, I just felt salty.
Yeah.
It was nasty. Like I didn't even, after we won the Super Bowl, all went to our hotel and celebrated. Who was in there? Rick Ross is in there. I ain't even go in there. I'm like,
you ain't go in there?
I'm in the hotel room crying, man.
Oh man.
Crying, bro. That's crazy.
Nah,
like,
I feel that though.
We just won a Super Bowl. Like this
I feel that.
You dream about when you were a kid, like, bro, my team, I just got a Super Bowl, bro. That's crazy, right?
Right.
I'm in the room, bro. They in there going crazy. Like, bro, like, I'm sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sick.
Nah, yeah. I feel that. I feel that completely.
Like, you feel me? Like, I just ain't feel like I was a part of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I think to your point, I think it's about balance. Obviously, you got to be grateful because a lot of people, don't get those type of opportunities. But like you said, the competitive nature in you, like, hey.
It was like, in the moment, like when we won that game, I'm going crazy, right? I'm jumping on the sideline, like, absolutely, I was happy for my guys. I'm taking pictures with my dog. We looking at the trophy. But literally, like, once we got back and the dust settled, like, just the moment settled, we just got to thinking, like, man, like, you feel me? A lot of guys, we don't even know I don't even know if I ever play in the Super Bowl or ever be back here again. You feel me? Guys might get to the playoffs once and never get there again. You know what I'm saying? Some greats that don't never been to the playoffs. Or some, you get to the Super Bowl and never get there again. So I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I didn't even get to like just feel that. You know what I'm saying? I just felt so just like disappointed in myself that I was hurt. Just all that just started playing. So I'm like, I don't even like, what am I celebrating right now? I need to like get healthy, like type of deal, right? I want like, like it's just.
Nah, yeah, I'm with you.
It didn't feel like to me at all. And it's crazy to say that, but it just didn't. Man, I think that's just, I'm just mad competitive, right? And that shit just don't sit. Don't nobody judge me harder than I judge myself.
Right.
So like, anybody can say whatever. If you know what I'm saying, I'm going to criticize myself the hardest. And that's just how it is, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. That kind of like, piggyback off of like the question I got from you, like, I done spent I done spent some time around your fam, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been over your mom's in them's crib, you know what I'm saying? Sunday dinners, I know how it go, you know what I'm saying? And like, I just always remember being around them, and like, it seemed like, this is just me from the outside looking in. You can tell me, you know what I'm saying, give me a better insight, but it seemed like they didn't put like too much pressure, like, on you, like being in the league, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know your pops used to get up and go to work, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always so wild to me, like, that they just treated it so normal, like, Aaron doing what he doing, you know what I'm saying? We proud of him or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? It seemed like they didn't put too much pressure on you, you know what I'm saying, having to be like the biggest star or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It just seemed like they was grateful just to be able to watch you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I give credit to my family, because my family real like, they really don't ask of me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't ask of me nothing. And I guess the point I was making is more so about when I was talking about before, when I was saying about check on your people. I guess I was more so talking about like friends. So let me clear that up. It's more so just your peers.
Yeah.
My family, they ain't asked me for anything. They really didn't treat me no different. They supported me coming to my games. Just, you know what I mean? They never was just any of that. You know what I'm saying? They was always just, like you saying, just living their life, doing the same thing they was doing, just proud that I was successful. Proud that I was proud that they got to experience the things that they got to experience coming to games, and just meet some of the people that they got to meet, and just, just being there. They were just grateful for just having the experience, bro. Like, and you can't ask for nothing more from family but that, you know what I'm saying? Just they love and genuine just support, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll meet a lot of people in the league and that don't got that.
For sure.
That's days just, you feel me? Just
the fam, yeah, they put mad pressure on them, yeah.
Really applying pressure to people, right? So yeah, man, like I'm grateful my family never put me through that ever. You know what I'm saying? Ever. Like it was always just love or just the want, I can do it just because I want to. It wasn't that I felt like I had to. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they was like,
Yeah.
I owe you, you owe me. Nah, it was just organic.
You know, now I picked that up, bro, and I always thought like, I probably thought like that was the coolest, you know what I'm saying, the coolest shit about your family, bro. For real, just like, you know, they all like going about their lives like bro ain't playing tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or bro ain't got a game later today. You know what I'm saying? It was always like, you know, like, yeah, we proud of him, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we got to,
I think they just stayed the same, man. I don't think they ever let like, it like change and be like, oh, my son is in the league. Or like, they might have like, act like they leveled up a tier or something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Some weirdo shit like that. Nah, I think my parents just like, they just stay who they were. You know what I'm saying? They just stay who they were before. You know what I mean? Just hardworking people. You feel me? Like just, yeah. I don't think nothing I did changed anything. You feel me? Change anything. I mean, just they just proud of me. Just proud of how I'm successful. You know what I'm saying? They just always been my parents. Nothing changed. Bro. Nothing changed for them. They always just wanted what was best for me, and that's just. Yeah, I feel like that's how parents should be.
that's how it should be. Word. Yeah.
That's for their children, man. And that's what they did for me and my brother and sisters. Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Pops and Aunt, man. You know, they fracked real quick, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 06. But man, I have a question for you, you know, regarding the league. What was the draft process like for you, AD? You know, a lot of people aren't aware, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, for those that may not be aware, you know, because we are older, you know what I'm saying? We are getting older, you know what I mean? So right. For the youngins that are unaware, Aaron Dobson was a second-round draft pick to the New England Patriots. So can you just walk us through, like, you know, some of the things that you had to endure going through that draft process? I had heard through the grapevine that the Patriots have reached out to some of your high school teachers and the coaches. Is that true?
Yeah, so for sure. Yeah, it was almost like a I mean, you gotta think it was a very, very intensified interview process, right? So like it's interviewing for a job, but you interviewing for a job that's about to pay you potentially millions of dollars. So this ain't just like a typical interview, you know what I'm saying? Like they really like diving in and seeing like what your character is like what is this guy like before I give him this money, or you know what I'm saying? Like just they just really just tapping into their investment. So yeah, it was, I mean, luckily all my teachers, I was cool with, so like I ain't really have no, yeah. So anybody that's young listening, like, man, keep those relationships with your teachers, man. Like, don't give your teachers a hard time, man, because it could come back. You feel me? Just like how it came back for me, right? They came back and checked on some of my teachers from high school, and they ain't have nothing but good to say about me, right? Some of my high school coaches, they ain't have nothing but good to say about me. So ultimately, it paid off for me, you know? So yeah, like the process was just, it was intensified, man. It was very, like, the pressure was built up. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, it's something that obviously I was working for forever, and now I'm going through it. So for me, it was like, I ain't gonna say it was overwhelming, but almost to that point. It was just that time, right? It was that time where I needed to be the sharpest of my life, because this is where things are gonna happen, right? Obviously, I played my college career and I did my thing, but now it's like, all right, I gotta eat the best I've ever ate in my life. I gotta work out the hardest. You feel me? One of the hardest. I'm just more trained and more disciplined at that time, right? Because I'm going through an interview process, right? I'm going through this combine, right? This big old combine where I'm about to sit in front of all these coaches, talk to them. They're gonna ask me questions. I need to be polished in what I'm talking about. I'm also gonna go out there and work out physically. That's what people don't know about the combine too. Combine is almost a week long, right? People only see that one day where people work out, right? That's what y'all see. But people don't see the 5 days before that where you interviewing from sun up to sundown all day, the 5 days that you there before that. So like you literally performing on fumes the last day that you gotta leave. Like you perform the last day, then you leave. You go out there and run and you catch and do all that, literally laughing. So they really putting you through all this pressure and all this just mental challenges, right? And putting you through all these things just to see like how you gonna perform at the end, right? We're gonna have you tired, we're gonna have you stand up till 12 midnight and then get right back up at 6:30, taking drug tests at 5 a.m. Gotta stand there, you at the hospital, bro. I took like, you know how long an MRI take, bro? I took like 4 MRIs in the same day.
Damn.
I'm saying like, bro, you gotta meet. So every team has a doctor, right? A physician, right? You gotta meet with all 32 of these people, right? You gotta tell them your injury history. Every one of these doctors want to check out your body. So they got you laying on the table like you a slab of meat, bro. People pulling on your arms, your legs, your toes, moving your neck, your back, but really trying to see what type of injuries have you had. Is it still messing with you? I fractured my wrist in 2 places my freshman year in high school, and they talking about this. I'm like, but this hasn't bothered me since high school. They MRI for my wrist. I'm like, bro, y'all serious? My freshman year was 14, bro. I'm 21.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, what are we talking about right now? Like, you know what I mean? But like, really, like, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going out in front of all the scouts and all the coaches and stuff, right? We're going out through like receivers through alphabetical order. We're going out there. We got to go in front of all the scouts and coaches, just tights on, no shirt. You feel me? Just go out there and stand in front of everybody, so they can all see our body. Boom, stand on the scale so they can see our weight. They measure us to see our height, our exact weight. You feel me? It's almost like they auctioning off slaves, bro. That's exactly what it felt like, bro. We going up a whole pool of people and they bidding on us. That's what it's feeling like. You feel me? We out there damn near naked. Just we back in the back doing push-ups, trying to get right before we go out there. Like at the time, I'm not thinking like how I'm thinking now. I'm just going through it at the time. Like, all right, then I'm trying to look swole for them, trying to look right. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be all these coaches. I want to look like you feel me, something. And bro, so it was just like, it's really like that. It was a lot of pressure, bro. I think it was a lot of pressure, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you gotta talk to all these coaches. They asking you just all type of questions, digging up stuff from just, you feel me, just everything, right? So it was like, it was intensified, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all have done the interview before, so it was like times 100. You know what I'm saying? And then you interviewing for almost 32 teams. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. It was fun, though. It was fun also. The training for it was fun. I played in the Senior Bowl. You feel me? So all the top seniors in college, we went down into, we at Mobile, Alabama.
Alabama, yes, sir.
Alabama. We was down there in Bama, man. We all got to go down there and play. Then we practiced for a week and had the game or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. We might got to meet a lot of the guys that was in the draft, a lot of the seniors. That was mad cool doing that. So I trained a little bit in Tennessee, in Knoxville, Tennessee, with my guy Charlie Patron. He got a
quick plug.
Great program down there, man. I really, really love that guy just personally. It's not a big, just one of them big facilities. It's really a one-on-one type of facility, bro. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put you through that work. So he's a great guy to look into. Guys coming out, his name is Charlie Patron. And then I went down to IMG, down in Florida. Everybody know about IMG, right? I went down to IMG coming out. And I was down there with D-Hop. I was down there from a lot of guys from my class, man. Eric Fisher was our the first pick of our draft. He was down there with Monte Tail was down there. Geno Smith. There was a couple of us, man. Justin Hunter was down there, receiver. So it was a couple of us, man, that went to draft. We was all down there and we was getting it in at IMG. And yeah, man, it was a good experience, man. It was a good experience. A lot of pressure, man. I think I handled it pretty well. I actually ended up pulling my hamstring before the combine, which was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. So I really didn't even get to perform at all at the combine. Like, I didn't do anything but interview. So I interviewed the whole 6 days. When it came to the performing part, I didn't do anything. But I wish I did. But yeah, man, that's how it felt for me. But I mean, it was a cool process though. It was a cool process. I mean, like, it was a good experience.